Welcome back to the Isaac Abrams Show, everybody. I'm your host, Isaac Abrams. Today's very special guest, comedian, writer, producer, philanthropist, Cole Garrett. Welcome to the show, Cole.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me. I didn't know I was a philanthropist.
No one does. I spring it on him during the intro.
I couldn't even say that word either.
Yeah, it's one who has large sums of money that donates to philanthropic organizations.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
Or nonprofits usually.
Wow.
Like Bill Gates' wife or former wife just gives away all his money.
Yeah.
She's a philanthropist.
Wow, okay. You had that ready to go.
I've said it 250 times. Yeah.
You say that about everyone who comes in?
I do.
Oh, wow. That's
and
your thing.
I stopped surprising people for a while, and I would explain it to them, and then now I just spring it on them and see if they think it's funny.
Yeah, dude, it's a good hook. It got me.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, good job.
On this episode, we're doing the intro at the end again. On this episode, we talk about frozen yogurt. We do a little inside baseball with comedy, and at the end, we reveal our favorite restaurant of all time.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's do socials. You can find Cole at Cole Tells Jokes everywhere.
That's it.
That's a joke.
That's
it's
it.
just at Cole Tells Jokes. It's at the bottom of the screen. Click that. Follow him everywhere. Do you have YouTube, or is it just all?
Yeah. YouTube channel is just search Cole Garrett. I think that's just my YouTube name, but I think it's / Cole Tells Jokes as well.
Yeah, it's also down in the description.
Yeah.
So check them out and enjoy the episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cole.
Yeah.
Welcome back to America.
Hey, thanks, man.
How was it?
It was great, dude. I'm happy to be back. I'm not jet lagged anymore, which was nice. But no, Australia was cool, dude. We had some great shows out there. I was out there with Trevor Wallace, doing some feature sets.
Who else came with you?
So it was just the two of us.
Oh, wow.
And then we had some local guys, some really awesome local guys.
Some Aussie local guys.
Yeah. We
Sorry.
Damn, you got me.
No,
you got me,
puns
dude.
aren't fun. Puns aren't fun. That's not cool. I can't get you with a pun in the first 5 minutes.
Do you have a pun brain?
I do.
Yeah. I love that because I got some buddies because my brain doesn't necessarily think quickly in puns, but if I hang out with one of my buddies who's doing it, then I switch into that mode.
Oh yeah.
And then it's all I can think about.
Yeah.
We're just going back to back, like nonstop. It gets completely out of control.
Oh yeah, it'll get ridiculous.
Yeah, but then for like 2 days, I'm doing it like to my like wife, and she's like, "Can you shut up?" You know? Like,
yeah.
Stop with the puns. But it takes me a while to like get out of it. But I just always think it's funny. Like people have like natural pun brains.
It'll just be good for when you're a dad.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's just what it basically comes down to. I'm 44. I should have like 8 kids.
Right.
So I got to get it out on the general populace.
Right.
I don't have any children to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool, man. Worked with some really dope Australian comics. This dude, Rory Lowe. This dude, Luke Kidgel, who's like kind of like the dude in Australia who's just like crushing it right now.
Yeah.
He's like filling up theaters and selling out like 5 shows. He's just like the dude. He's like 27, super funny, just like really got it during the pandemic, you know? Like
nice.
I was like, I think there's some people that like really used the time from the pandemic to like make their careers. And then there was other people that just like made bread like me.
Well, some people made a career out of making bread.
Hey, you know what? And I didn't do either.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Tom Papa started a whole bread channel, I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought for a second, I was like, I think I'm going to just take a hard shift into baking.
Yeah.
And then I realized pretty quickly that I could make about 2 loaves a day and sell them for like $8 a piece. And I would probably end up losing money in that business venture. Sorry, something just fell off the wall.
That's my little seamless paper I take headshots against. We'll fix it later. But it definitely scared.
Dude, is there a ghost in here, bro?
Yes.
It feels a little ghosty in the hallway.
Does it?
No. It could be. If stuff like that was starting to happen, I'd be like, maybe.
Well, it was down when I walked in because I haven't been here in a week. And it's probably fallen 50 times, and I used the same tape to put it back up. So, like, if we use science...
Yeah.
That will deduce that it's just old tape. But
there's no stick.
I definitely, if I'm going to play the tape back, it's me going, I definitely
Did you jump a little?
I jumped a little bit.
Are you normally a jumpy guy?
No, but I am expecting someone to show up after this. Mm-hmm. I just have an appointment after this.
Yeah.
And I just thought they were early and they just came busting in. Plus...
Sorry, I did that to you. I think I did that.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, because I busted in here early, so now you're scared.
But also the cleaning lady will just... She has a key.
Really?
She'll just come right on in.
Just like during a podcast?
Yeah, because I can't hear her fucking knock. And it's not a
like a hotel?
soundproof this is not a soundproof studio at all. In fact,
Yeah.
it's like wrapped around. There's a dress shop that goes this way and that way.
Yeah.
There's a window right here. I covered it up.
Oh my God, there is.
Yeah, it's a window into another interior office that has an exterior window so you could get a little bit of sunlight.
No way.
Yeah, that's how you save money on office space in
That's
Los Angeles.
so funny.
Yeah, this is a broom closet.
Sunlight by proxy.
Yeah. So you got a new podcast. Are you talking about it yet?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got
you
a
and Jason?
podcast with this dude Jason Cheney, super funny guy. We're the podcast. We went in between a couple of names, but we landed on Brain Fart Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, no real reason. We just kind of like I don't know. We're both just kind of like spacey dudes, and I don't know. We also like thought it was like a cool little play on words where we're like, we're talking about some heady things, but at the same time, like it's always just about farts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just silly
Right.
stuff. But that's gonna come out in a couple of weeks, so I'm stoked about that.
Maybe by the time this comes out.
Yeah. So
It's
what's
probably 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna come out next Tuesday.
Okay. So last week,
Yeah.
in real time, if you're listening to
Yeah.
this now.
So last week, exactly.
Yeah. Podcast math on calendars is weird.
Yeah, right.
So, but maybe I'll drop this tomorrow. I don't know what happens.
Who knows, dude? We could
knows?
do anything.
All we know is that the paper may continue to fall.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in here.
Do you guys have a theme?
No theme. Nah, we're just gonna shoot the shit,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we thought about doing a theme for a while, and I think themes are cool, but themes are just more work, and I feel like we wanted it to just be like a free-flowing, just silly thing, rather than like something that we had to do a lot of homework for.
Yeah.
But, I think, themes are cool, but I think for us, we're just so like, we're both just like ADHD, just this, that.
Yeah.
So
very clippable.
Yeah. And we just say crazy shit. Like, I feel like, you've probably experienced this on the road with Drew. Like when we're on the road together and we're just like in a car, like driving from city to city, and we like literally the only thing we have is just dumb conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, how do we bottle this up?
Yeah.
Where we're like just free flowing, just having a good time, no pressure. And like, we have the funniest conversations. So like, that's kind of the goal. Like, like try to capture the feeling of being on a road trip with a buddy in a podcast.
Are you going to do road episodes?
I think so.
Have you seen Jeremiah Watkins do that in his car?
No.
He'll throw his whole crew in the car and they all have microphones.
Oh, that's so
He'll just
fun.
hang a GoPro from the windshield.
I love that.
Dude, it's the best.
Yeah. Is that part of the regular like release, or is it like an extra thing for Patreon?
I think he calls it the Roadcast. I'm not sure because everybody uses Roadcasters as their audio recorders.
Oh, got it.
So maybe I'm just getting it from that.
Yeah.
But he'll do it on the road. Him and like Joel Jimenez will just sit in the front seat.
I love that.
Dude, it's the best.
Those guys are so funny, man. Mm-hmm. I love Jeremiah. We did a comedy fest together, festival in Houston, and it was amazing. There were so many really dope comics on it, but it was so funny. Like I don't know why they did this, but the comedy festival they used Jeremiah's face as like the face of the festival.
I heard about this. He did my podcast like a week after.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
it was
funny.
Last summer.
No way. Yeah. And so yeah, we like
and like
it's so funny, bro. Because we show up and we're like, there's some like amazing comedians on this. I mean, Jeremiah obviously included. He's one of the biggest names on the festival for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like JC Carayas and Steph Tolev and Gianmarco Ceresi and Caitlin Palufo from New York, just like absolute murderers. Jessica Michelle Singleton, and for some reason, he said that they talked to him beforehand and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna like use your face for a poster," but he's like, "Oh, I thought they meant like they're gonna use." Like everyone's face.
Right.
So we roll into this thing, bro, and I'm not kidding. This poster is like 10 by 20 feet, and it's hanging on the main building. It's like there's nowhere that you can be without seeing it. And bro, it says the name of the comedy festival, and then right next to it is Jeremiah's just huge face.
They must have just called it the Watkins Festival.
Bro,
right?
we were all like we all kept goofing. Like we're like, well, Jeremiah, this is your festival,
Right.
so you got to make the decisions.
Yeah.
He was so embarrassed, dude. He was just like, why?
It's hard to embarrass.
Why would they do that?
Yeah.
But again, it's like the singing thing, right?
Right.
It's like, so we were talking earlier about how embarrassing it is like to like belt out singing. Like I'd rather go make a fool of myself, like doing jokes. Like, Jeremiah is pulling his balls out and like doing crazy things, right?
Yeah.
But that's like a funny thing. But like when it seems like you're taking yourself serious, that's embarrassing.
Right.
That's what comedians hate the most, dude. They hate being taken seriously and thinking that other people are perceiving them as someone who takes themselves seriously.
Oh, that couldn't hit closer to my personal truth.
Yeah.
Because I'm very sarcastic.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm always joking.
You have to be.
So people ask me a question, I'm like, what are you, fucking stupid?
Right,
And people
right.
are like, they clutch their pearls. And
Right,
I'm like,
right.
No, well, I'm sorry.
Right.
No, you're going to want to go down here and take a like whatever.
Yeah.
But like people think I'm a very serious guy because I have like I have a serious face.
Yeah.
But I have a super happy heart.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm always just trying to think of something funny to say, which means my face looks serious.
Right. I think all comedians, for the most part, I have normal conversations where I'm not like trying to do a thing, but there are moments where I'm trying to make a situation more fun or just try to get through it by making a joke, you know? And I think it's like we hang out with comics so much that we get used to also like a level of like what's appropriate.
Yeah.
At least in like a green room versus like, you know, regular society.
Yeah.
And then you're like hang out with a bunch of comics and then you go have a conversation. Like I do this all the time where like I've had these instances where I'm like hanging out with comics all the time and then I go hang out with like my wife and her friends.
Right.
And I'm like, I say a couple of things where I'm like, oh, they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I said a thing that was like a little bit, you know, for them.
Very blue.
It was just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make it, because it's like, dude, comics all the time are like, I'm going to fucking kill myself. You know? Like every comic is always talking about how they're just going to easily kill themselves. It's like, we're so used to it. And if you make suicide jokes in front of normal people, hey, guess what? They don't find it funny.
They're calling the helpline. They're like,
especially in like young people's circles where it's like now everything is about mental health and like do you need help, like which is great. I love that. You know, I think that's really helpful and people do need that, but sometimes we're just trying to make a joke about suicide and people get so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, they just, you see them adjusting in the chair, fixing their collar.
It's like, just let me say I'm gonna kill myself, man, because you know what's worse? You not laughing. Now I'm really thinking about killing myself.
If you had just laughed,
we'd be okay. Now I have bad mental health,
right?
Because you're not laughing at my suicide joke.
Yeah, Drew's got a whole like 15 on this.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna change the subject. So I mean, he doesn't watch my podcast, but
that's so interesting.
I don't want him to be like, "Oh, you did my 20 on your pod." Like,
I see.
You know what I mean?
He's got a lot of hot takes about suicide,
but he does.
Okay.
But I mean, I think we all do.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
He's got his own version of that. But I think what I was gonna say, back to the whole like jokes and hanging and stuff and green room stuff, is like the thing you got to figure out early on is the hierarchy, the pecking order of that green room. And I think like one thing I learned from being on a bus was like the funniest thing that you can do is like the lowest comedian on the totem pole is that if there's a riff going and you can just sneak a thought in, but the headliner picks it up and he's like, oh yeah, the cat is like and then you're like, oh, it's like, you don't get any acknowledgement for it, but you can go to bed in your bunk going like, okay, that nobody said I was funny, but like the headliner picked it up and riffed with it for 5 minutes and everybody shut the fuck up. So that had to be funny.
Yeah. As long as you're not stopping the conversation, you're not stopping the flow.
Yes.
And you're not saying too many things, right? You got to sneak them in, like you said. As long as you're not being annoying or not adding useful information. Like I always think I'm a pretty like talkative person, but when I'm around people that I don't know, dude, I am buttoned up.
Yep.
I do not say shit. I sit, unless it's a one-on-one conversation, but if I'm in a group and everyone knows each other and they're riffing and they're comics, bro, I'm not saying shit. I'm sitting back, I'm laughing, and exactly like you said, I'm like, oh, I know for sure. I'm not taking any swings, you know what I mean?
Nope.
Like, I'm like, I know for sure what I'm about to say is gonna hit a little bit.
Right.
Like I'm like, boom, I hit a quick one, just like you said.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse, dude, than when you're in a conversation with your homies and there's an outlier and you're kind of just being like, oh, well, we have to be welcoming to this person. And then they go and just keep adding bad information into the conversation. Because you're not like, you don't hate them, but you're like, I don't really want this person around anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks to say that.
It sucks to be that person and not realize you're being that person.
Oh, dude.
Which is the fastest thing that alcohol will do to you around people who don't drink.
Or blow, dude.
Oh, dude.
You want to talk about being like not self-aware? Holy shit.
Dude.
You ever been just sober around someone who's like just ripped off a blow?
Yes, every night.
Like every night when I go home, my wife. No.
My entire town has a bag in their pocket right now.
Really?
Yeah, I live in a little beach town by the airport.
Oh, wait, where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
I've been
the
trying to
vibe.
say where I live less because there's only
sorry.
800 people.
Sorry.
No, it's not
We
you.
can bleep that.
No, it's fine. I'm probably not going to live there for very much longer, but like, it's just everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you know, I have been guilty of participating every once in a while. But,
Sure.
you know, you could go to the bar and somebody's just like, "Did you see the race today?" I'm like,
Dude.
They don't even bother to tell you what race, and they're just going into their favorite driver.
Bro. Yeah, I used to do a lot back in the day. I'm 4 years sober now, but
Oh, congratulations!
thanks, dude. But I used to do a bunch, you know, because I went to USC, and it's just everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere. And I caught the bug. That's a cute way to say I was addicted to cocaine.
Yeah, I had a cute little thing for a while.
Got a little bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a fucking salsa class. Yeah,
I'm just
but
gonna move this paper so I can see that the recorder is still on.
yeah, sure.
Welcome back to Comedy Gold Mines with
Comedy Gold Mines.
what is his name? Little short fella, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
That's the name of his podcast.
Wait, it is?
Yeah.
Comedy Gold
Well,
Mines.
one of his 25 podcasts.
Yeah, bro. Bro's got like 16 brands, 20 podcasts,
Yep.
1,000 brand deals. I don't know how someone like that just does all the things. Like, I feel like I'm struggling just to do like my laundry and like.
Oh,
like,
it gets easier with the more money you have because
That's
you just
true.
exponential staff.
That's true.
The more money you have, like, let's say you had unlimited money.
Yeah.
How many people would be on?
Bro, I wouldn't be doing anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be showering. Like they put me, like, I'd be getting sponge bath. Yeah. Yeah, I'd just be like chilling like this. And like there'd just be a screen in front of me and
Yeah.
I'd just be like, I don't know, watching something.
Think about how fun is this your first podcast that you're starting with Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. The amount of work that you're about to step into is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Just
I
for the
know.
clips. But the benefit of having all the clips is going to be great. But let's just say somebody to clip your stand-up and film your stand-up and drive you to the shows and book your shit. Maybe book everything else that you're already booking for yourself. Just
Yeah.
like the more team that you can build, the more opportunities you can have to go to that next creative meeting and build another team and build another team.
Yeah.
I've been to Kevin's studio a couple times.
Really?
If you film a commercial with him, the first option has to be that you rent his own studio from him to film
Hilarious.
the commercial that he wants to be in.
Hilarious.
So, I mean, you walk in, it's just like pod studio, pod studio, pod studio. And they're all paid for by the network that signed the show.
Wow.
And they're all decked out with like the top tier gear. And he's got a cooking show, and then he's got a whole network of other comedy stuff. Then you
He's
hop
got
in
so many things we don't even know about.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's in the same neighborhood as where Rogan's studio used to be.
Really?
Yeah, and Howie Mandel's right down the street. It's just like the big hitters all just found this industrial zone in the valley, and they were like, let's buy all the warehouses.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, that's got to be the best part about having money, you know? Because it's like everyone always thinks about the obvious things. It's like cars, houses, whatever. You're flying private, you're flying first class. Those things are amazing, I would imagine. But also it's like, dude, you don't think about just like not having to do the bullshit.
Yes.
Like, dude, that is like, oh my God. Like when I think about making real money and like not having to like do my laundry, like go get my car washed, like have to worry about just like having an assistant to just like make sure like my dogs have food or whatever the thing is, you know. It's just because you just have so many tiny little things that you have to do that distract you from like which is like crazy to say because it's like these are all things that just everyone has to do.
Yeah.
But what a luxury. Like just
Yeah, but I have a theory about that.
Yeah, okay.
Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I think like there's the hustle and the grind to get there.
Yeah.
And then you can see the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And then once these people start working for you and your life gets soft, your jokes aren't as funny anymore.
Oh, wow.
I would name somebody specific, but they're a top 10 tier comedian.
Wow.
Who's recently moved to Austin. So that just narrows it down to like 10 people.
Got it.
But like you can see them, right?
Yeah.
They hustled really hard. They built this massive network. They have all this stuff. They fly super private. And now their jokes are just kind of about what happens at the house. Because they're doing anything. They're not going to the grocery store. They're only interacting with their children.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I feel like to be a comedian, you have to be living life in a certain way, right? You got to be out experiencing things, and that's why like you see a lot of these like road comics who like they get the majority of their work just on the road. Like they don't do a lot of local stuff. They don't do showcases or anything like that. They're just like they're touring the same clubs every single year. Like I've heard other comics talk about these people and say, well, yeah, we'll go watch them. And it's like, you know, they've got like 20 minutes on the airport.
Yep.
You know, and it's like they got a fucking, you know, 15-minute bit about Spirit Airlines because that's what they know.
Right.
That's the only thing they know. They got things about Ubers. You know, they got things about hotels.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
I'm falling into that same trap right now.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's like you can. Those are all collective experiences for the most part. So I think it's a good thing, and people can relate to that. But when it's your whole set, where it's like everything is about travel, basically, like that makes me sad.
And who's going to relate to that?
Yeah.
I have a couple of different airplane jokes that I'm trying to write, but I'm trying to be from the pilot's perspective.
Yeah.
And do like we were talking about imitations before we started rolling. That's one of the only ones I can do is like a pilot's voice. So I would just want to like get on and be like, this is gonna crash, you know, like shit like that.
That was like if that was like what's that South Park dude? Okay. Oh God, yeah, that was like if he was a pilot.
Here's my theory about flying, and we'll move on. We don't have to spend a lot on travel. But being in an airplane is the only place in the world where 50% of the people do it 2 to 3 times a week, and 50% of the people have not done it ever before in their whole life. And it's infuriating for the people that do it 2 to 3 times a week.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, very fortunate to be on the plane in the first place.
Yeah, there's just plane etiquette that I think a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the most frustrating thing to me is like someone's like watching some shit on their iPad with like no headphones. I'm like,
bro,
dude, I had that happen to me recently. Like, and it was a kid too, but the mom was right next to him, and he's just like, bro, I was like, I'm like I've got internal anger. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a big like blow up guy, but I'm seething inside.
Yeah.
Right? Like you
let it sneak out the side of your mouth just a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wish somebody shut that kid up.
Yeah, like I won't even say that. Like for the most part, I'm just like, I think this is gonna play itself out. Like I think this is gonna be fine at some point, and I'm just gonna let it be.
Oh, you can calm yourself down.
I can calm myself down. Yeah.
I go the other way. It just starts to compound and compound and compound.
Yeah. I try to talk myself out of it. Sometimes I have to like say a thing, but I'll say it calmly. I'll be like, is there any way you can, you know, and she can for sure hear that there's like a psycho behind this calm voice because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when someone's like, says something like, hey, do you think you can, you know, hey, do you think maybe you can?
I'm gonna lose it. Yeah.
You know, I think there's a little bit of that behind my voice, but this kid was playing on this iPad and he was playing a game, and it was like one of those games where like every single second of this game was occupied by some new type of noise. And it was like, you know, the sound of like Sonic collecting the coins.
Ka-ching, ka-ching,
it was like
ka-ching.
this. It was like bring, 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 whoop, boo, 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 whoop, 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 bring, 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 bring,
I
bring.
can hear
bring,
myself
bring,
trying
bring.
to sleep on a flight and just listening to that.
Bro, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose it, dude. But I just put my headphones on, I got the noise canceling and just turned them full blast and like turned on like I don't know, Saving Private Ryan, just some loud war movie, bombs going off, you know. But it's just crazy how people don't know the things.
No.
People standing up when the plane lands.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Bro, that is the
drives
craziest.
me, especially.
And they start charging.
Yeah.
If you're catching a flight, sure. But I know a lot of people are not.
There is no flight that you're going to miss.
Yeah.
Or make by standing up.
Yeah, true.
At the back of the plane and trying to dive over people.
Yeah, you're saving
That's
20 seconds.
unacceptable. But I don't think anybody that listens to this show is a stander-upper or a clapper. If you clap when the plane lands, bro.
I was on a plane like a couple months ago, and there was a kid with Down syndrome in the same aisle as me, and he was just having a blast flying. Awesome. And I was having so much fun just watching him enjoy the things of the flights, and he would like yell things out to his mom, we're taking off, you know.
That's so fun.
It's so fun, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, and I got like the noise cancels on, and I got this one open, dude, because I'm like, whatever he says, I need to hear.
Right.
And I remember,
not in a way like you're making fun of him.
No.
Just enjoying the pure enjoyment that he's having.
Because, bro, we hate flying, and it's an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see someone enjoying it, you realize, maybe I should be enjoying this a little bit more, because this is an amazing thing that we're too used to, you know?
Yeah.
And when we landed, bro, because I saw him, like, he was holding on like we were on a roller coaster, bro.
Yeah.
He was super nervous, and I'm watching him, and the plane lands, and it sort of like rumbles a little bit, and then it lands, and he literally goes, yeah! He literally was like, he cheered. It wasn't a clap like, oh, we made it safely. He was like, yeah.
Like his team just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, bro. He's like, we did it.
That's the
and
best.
He was looking at her, like, and he was like breathing heavy. He's like, like looking around, like smiling, like trying to get some. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah,
That's
dude.
right, buddy. Yes,
yeah,
we did. Yes.
I gave him a full thumbs up. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
That's the best.
We made it.
I like to think that kid flies a lot, and he does the same thing on every flight.
Bro, I
just
hope.
enjoys it that much every time.
I hope, dude. If I could just get a little slice of that, man, I'd be so much happier.
There's a comedian that I've worked with that had generally has quite a few special needs people in the audience.
Yeah.
So generally, like when I'm done and I'm out filming, if someone's talking too much and the ushers aren't doing anything about it, I'll check them out. Or if the ushers are giving somebody a hard time, I try and check it out to see if they have special needs before. Like sometimes they can't help it. We had a guy at a show that had a tick. And he sat in the back. He knew he had a tick. So every maybe minute or two, he'd be like, bop.
No.
So the ushers kept fucking with him. And I was like, hey, man, he's just ticking.
Yeah.
He's not trying to fuck with anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm going with that. A lot of my stories just kind of trail off.
No, that's fine. It's funny because it made me think of something. So like one of the guys that I was working with in Australia, the dude who's he's like 27 or 28 and just killing it. This dude, Luke Kidgel. Super funny. Check him out if you don't know him. But he had a clip go viral from because someone in the audience had Tourette's, and so they had a tick, and they were like, I'm pretty sure that the one that blew up, they were like, "Fuck you." and then you can hear it like way off in the distance, and he was like in between a bit, and he like stops and like looks around, and then like everyone starts cracking up, and like in a really sweet way, he like engages the person and is like, are you okay with talking about it? And then has this like hilarious conversation with this person with Tourette's, and it went like mega viral.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? And now, so I was looking through his clips, and I'm like, oh, there's like multiple clips of like people with Tourette syndrome at your shows. And I like was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, dude, he goes, because that clip went so viral.
Oh my God.
It like got to the Tourette's community.
You can imagine going to one of his shows now.
Yes,
bop, bop, bop,
bro.
Bop, 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 bop.
Yes, and he says like that's a thing now. Like he'll go to certain cities and like these like Facebook groups that are like Tourette's Facebook groups. They'll all together go see his show.
Yeah.
So there'll be like 20 of them like off in the back, just ticking in the back.
Right.
And it's just like part of the show now. You know, and like people who are there like know the clips, so they know like, oh yeah, like those are. And now he said it's become so normal that it's like he doesn't even say anything anymore.
Yeah,
like he's not like, oh, like, and he even told me, he's like, dude, I don't even get clips out of it anymore because it just feels dirty. You know, he's like, because I know he
needs 1 yearly maintenance Tourette's clip to keep the people coming back. But it's like,
how crazy.
It's like when you go to like a church or a mega church, they have that room where babies can cry, but they have the glass.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like a lot of churches will have like a room that you can still have a speaker in it, so you can still hear the pastor.
Yeah,
babies can scream and it's soundproof, and you're sitting in there like holding your baby.
Oh,
he needs to play churches now. Because theaters definitely don't have that shit.
They just put a box around the Tourette's people. Yeah. That's crazy.
When it's like when the drummer plays on TV, they have that plexiglass.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I wonder
hilarious.
if they could, like a mask, they could put like a soundproof, like Bane type thing on Tourette's people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Or he could wear noise canceling headphones.
Just on stage.
Yeah, he could just wear
At all
AirPods.
times.
Yeah. It's like if he wants to talk to the crowd, he can just be like, well, I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah. That's such a funny like community to tap into though, man.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But it is all about finding your audience and finding your people. you know?
Yeah. And I think that's also cool that that those people feel like that's a safe space for them to go to. Because I can't imagine, man, having Tourette's and like going to things like that. Like you must be sweating, right?
Yeah.
You must be thinking like, oh, hopefully I don't say fuck you.
Right.
When it's quiet.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be like, you got to have so much anxiety from that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then people around you are going, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, it's also like, to take the other side, it's 2023, right? If somebody's just screaming absurdities out in public, it's like, you have to know, if you aren't self-aware enough to go like, this person may have special needs, like, then you're a piece of shit.
You're a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think the first one, you're going, what was that? And then the second one, you're like, oh, I think.
Yeah.
And then the third one, you're like, yep.
If it's fuck you, the first time you're like, what the fuck did you say?
Right.
For sure.
Right. Especially if there's a comedian saying some, who knows what he was saying.
Yeah.
He's not like a problematic guy at all.
Yeah.
So he's not saying anything crazy, but who knows?
Yeah.
He might have said something that someone didn't like. I mean, people say fuck you all the time, the comics who are on stage. So,
Yeah.
you know?
This weekend in Tulsa, we did a club weekend. So it was like, I would get done with my set, and then I'm always in the back of the room with my camera, right? So
Yeah.
I have stationary cameras on tripods, but if someone starts to talk to the headliner, I'll go in and get a close up of them in the crowd.
Nice.
But you can't always get like in the crowd camera.
You're down in the seats?
I'm in the back.
Yeah.
And then if someone starts to talk, I'll go to the left or right and try to get a close up of them on a third camera.
But you're on stage, basically, behind stage?
No.
Oh, no.
I'm in the crowd.
Got it.
And usually, at every single one of our 6 shows this weekend, somebody would always try and guess what the headliner was going to say next.
What?
And they're always wrong. And we talked about it in the green room after the show. I'm like, there's this motherfucker in the back. And he was always like, golf swing. Oh, grocery store. Oh. There's always somebody guessing, right? So the last show, Saturday night, there was a lady right in front. And I had written a new joke. So I was in the green room, like trying to run it before my set. Mm-hmm. And this lady was just fucking with Justin for 20 minutes, to the point where he was like, lady, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like he had already made a joke out of it and blah, blah, blah. And she was just saying stuff after every line.
Got it.
And I had no idea. And then I go up and do my little 10. And she says something, and still 48 hours later, I didn't handle it right. All I said was like, oh, sweet lady, everybody loves a talker. Like it was like not funny. Not cute. I didn't even bother to check in with her. I didn't go like, hey, what's your name? Like none of that shit.
Yeah.
And then I was so mad at myself that when I got off stage, I went to security and I was like, if that bitch talks one more time, or if she talks during the headliner set, she's got to go.
Yeah.
So the headliner naturally, she said like something, and the headliner just wanted to chat with her. He didn't see that she was fucking with me and fucking with Justin.
Right. And how was their conversation? Was it good?
It started off okay. It started off
yeah.
great. And then the manager of the club goes up to her and he goes, lady, if you talk one more time, you got to fucking leave.
Oh, damn.
She goes, who the fuck are you? Because he's just wearing a blue shirt. He doesn't have a uniform on or anything. And this takes us back to like how you handle like the way that you talk to some people.
Right.
He goes, lady, you don't want to know who the fuck I am.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then the headliner comes back, starts to talk to her again. And she goes, I can't talk anymore. I'm going to get kicked out. Whole vibe of the show changes. When all the manager had to do was be like, ma'am, I just need you to remain quiet. I'm the manager here. We just need you to be quiet. But like almost all of us handled this one lady the wrong way.
Yeah. I feel like, the manager handled it wrong, but also like this lady, like someone coming up to you with like authority and being like, hey man, like you have to be quiet or else you're getting kicked out, and being like, who the fuck are you? Like, imagine if someone in just street clothes who didn't work there,
right,
said, "Shut the fuck up, or you're out."
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds? Like, that person is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the odds of that are so low. Like that would never happen.
Yeah. And he's a massive dude.
So the woman said that to just get under his skin.
Yeah.
Because no one who didn't work there would say that.
Right.
So she was like, I just want to belittle this man, and it worked. He got angry and gave her the same energy back and was
Yeah.
like, you don't want to know,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll fucking show you.
Yeah, which is funny, like to say, like, you don't want to know, and you're a manager of a club.
Yeah. It's a very club manager thing to say.
Yeah, that's hilarious, honestly. Like,
yeah, handling situations. But for me, it's always like the thoughts that you have, like what you could have said.
dude, there's nothing worse. I mean, we all do that, especially in crowd work moments where we're like driving home, just thinking like, oh, I could have said this, I should have said that. Like, there's so many ways I could have taken it. Like, there's nothing worse too. Like, I've had instances where I had like a little crowd work moment with someone, and then I'll kind of like go into the green room or whatever, and either if it's like a headliner or just like the next person on the showcase, I'll be like, hey, just so you know, like that guy in the front row with the whatever shirt on, like I asked him about this and he said this, like just so you have the information and it's not repetitive. I'll be like, also you could work with it if you want to, like, and sometimes the headliner will come right out and just start working with, oh, who's the guy who like, you know, like works at UPS or whatever, like it'll be like, oh, me. And then like I've had instances where like just there was one question that I didn't ask that opened this whole conversation up with like this one person, you know, where I'm like, I just scratched the surface and I'm like, oh, that was good. And then someone comes out and just like opens up this whole world of like this guy's personality. And I'm like, God
why
damn
didn't
it.
I think of that?
Yeah, why didn't I just think to ask that one question that just, but that's what crowd work is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's asking the right questions in the right amount of time.
To the right people.
Yeah. Because it's like, sometimes you ask too many questions and you just hit too many dead ends and you're like, I have to get out of this.
Right.
But, you know, there's
And
guys.
the lights on and you're like, I got to dig out in a minute and a half.
Yeah. And some people just have a gift for like following up and asking the right questions. Like, do you know John Rudnitsky? Mm-mm. Dude, you got to check him out. And if anyone listening to this doesn't know John Rudnitsky, like check him out. He was a dude on SNL for I think a couple of seasons. And
is he LA or New York?
He's, I think both. He was in New York for a long time, and then now I think he's spending a lot of time in LA. I think he's just, you know, bi-coastal. Yeah. But yeah, he's so funny, man. And like all of his crowd work clips are just phenomenal because he just like always asks the right question. Just always a perfect follow-up, a perfect act out. I'm like so envious of that dude.
Let's talk about crowd work clips for a second, because some of the comedy community is starting to believe that it's training audiences to talk too much during shows.
100%.
Yeah. But it's a necessary evil, right? If you don't want to burn jokes, you got to put out crowd work clips.
Yeah.
But if we put out too many crowd work clips, then we're doing a town hall meeting every time we go up.
Yeah.
Where are you at on it?
I mean, I think I've pulled back on initiating crowd work because to me, it doesn't feel good when I do it. Like, I know there are some people that can do it really well and have it be free flowing. I love a crowd work moment that comes organically from a bit. Like, if a bit has, you know, like crowd work built into it, where it's like, whatever, I'll just give a stupid example. Like, oh yeah, I've been working out a lot. Like, does anyone here like work out at 24 Hour Fitness? And people go, yeah, I do. Like, oh, you have a membership. Okay. Like, what do you think about blah, 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 right?
Right.
It's something I'm already talking about.
Zero it in.
Yeah. And then I'm like, maybe something good comes out of it. Maybe something doesn't. But it's going to lead me into the next thing that I'm saying. Sure. But I know there are some comics out there that, you know, they're like, I got to get the clips and I have to post 2 a week. So it's like, it's not built in. They'll just go, this is the crowd work portion of the show now, right? And it's like, and again, there's nothing wrong with this, and a lot of people are very good at it, but it's just like, you know, they'll be talking about some shit and then it'll just be like, how long have you two been dating? Or, hey, where do you work? You know, and it's like, I don't feel good when I do that personally. So, and it's not to say that I haven't done it. I have, and I've done it plenty of times, but now with it being such a thing, and there's so many similar conversations happening where it's like, how long have you two been dating? Where did you guys meet? Sir, like, what do you do for work? Like these types of like classic crowd work questions. When I say them now, I feel like I'm not being authentic, and it takes me, it puts me in my head, right? I don't feel present when I'm doing it because I'm like, man, I'm doing that thing, you know?
Yeah, it's a little cookie cutter. It's a little hat on a hat. But I think there's like the one that doesn't bother me the most is like, what do you do for work? Because you get some really random shit in there.
Things.
But like, how long have you two been together? Like, nobody paid $35 to listen to that shit. There's actually a really good clip out right now of a comedian making fun of crowd work.
Really?
I'll show it to you after this.
Yeah.
I gotta find it.
Yeah.
I used to think that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But that was just I just want to do an hour of crowd work every night.
Yeah.
That was an excuse to not write jokes.
Totally.
And I used to brag about it too. It's like, when I get to be headliner, all I'm doing is crowd work. And now I can think, like we talked, I think before we were rolling about like, or maybe even while we were rolling, about not being self-aware and being the guy in the group that's like just talking too much.
Yeah, right.
I was the guy in the group that was like, well, when I get to do, and talking to headliners about this, when I get to do it, I'm going to do just crowd work. And I could now, thinking back, having this thought in this moment, going, oh, they all fucking know I don't write jokes.
Yeah. They're all like, sick, man, for sure. And then turned around, they're like,
yeah, keep it up, camera guy. Sick.
I mean, I think a healthy balance is nice. I mean, I think you got to learn how to do crowd work, because you have to learn how to do crowd control. And it's like, no matter where you're performing, there's always going to be people who are shouting things out. And it's like, you need to know how to like jump out of bits and like handle situations and then jump back in, or like I said, do the built-in stuff where you just know how to get information out of people and work with it. But I think that, you know, kind of to what you were saying about only wanting to do crowd work, I think a lot of people focus super heavy on doing so much crowd work and getting the clips that they aren't writing new jokes, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know, because it's hard, because it's like the crowd work clips are probably going to get you the following, which will eventually get people to buy tickets. And then you can maybe then use that time to like write your hour. I don't know. Yeah. Nobody knows.
No. I mean, that was my original plan, was to just get famous off the podcast,
right? And
then get booked as a headliner, skip all the other steps.
That's the dream.
What a fucking, I mean, dude. And then, you know, I've had a clip do okay.
Yeah.
But I have a buddy who's had over 1 million 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
One on Instagram, one on Facebook.
Damn.
And it's moving his needle, but it's not like,
bro, it's crazy.
Like, going viral is not even the thing. Like, one can't do it anymore. You have to be consistently viral now.
Consistent. Like, your numbers have to be in the millions, if not, like, you have to be posting things that are over 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 plays on Reels, like into the millions. Like, I had a thing recently where I talk about, and honestly, this is like a bit that I wrote that I was like, okay, there's like a fun act out in it, and I kind of like saying it, but it doesn't really always crush. Like, it works really well in some rooms, in other rooms, people are like, meh. But so I stopped doing it for a really long time, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna bring it back, because I never fully fleshed it out. It was like, I probably did it like 8 times, which, like, you know, is like nothing. And so I brought it back, and the time that I brought it back, I got a really good video of the bit, and I'm like, people really liked it in this room, and I posted it, and it's about how millennials either do one of two things with like our past. We either go work out our shit in therapy, or we travel. Right? With 2 ways, and I call it trauma traveling, where we just like have just a thing happen in our life that's like traumatizing. We just go to Bali, right? And
it's very shareable.
Yeah, just go like sit on an elephant and it'll be okay, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think also that the just like the tagline trauma traveling, like I just hit the traveling community. Like everyone who's got like somewhere between like 4,000 and 20,000 followers like that have like a travel blog, dude, I hit that community so hard, and it was like, it just exploded. Yeah. And now it's probably got like close to 3 million plays now on Instagram, and the amount of like shares, like it has like 91,000 shares, and like so many people used my audio to make their own videos, their own travel videos. And like, dude, this thing is like, this is the most viral thing I've ever had, right?
Yeah.
I think in total, I've probably gotten 2,000 followers from it. 2,000.
Yep. And the thing is,
that's crazy.
Yeah. And the thing for people at home that don't know the difference is that like shares are what's important on Instagram.
Yeah.
Comments are what's important on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch time is also important on YouTube, but like long form videos are now important on TikTok.
Yeah.
Facebook, who knows what the fuck Facebook likes?
Who knows, dude?
Because I had one that had 4,000 comments. But then my buddy Justin, who's going viral right now, like literally today, 6 comments.
Really?
And had 1,000 likes, and it's got 1.3 million views. I mean, this is super inside baseball. We probably changed the subject.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I think I brought us here. But like, and fuck you. Skip ahead if you don't want to know the inside workings.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear about my viral clips, man.
One listener.
Yeah, this is gonna go viral. I know it. I know it. Please.
Going viral about going viral.
Yeah, right. Please help us.
Let's go. Let's do some backstory shit, and then we'll do our final question here in just a minute.
Cool.
Where are you from?
I'm from Orange County.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, born and raised, dude.
You still living south from here? You live pretty far south.
No,
right?
I'm in LA still.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
on the west side.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're kind of neighbors-ish.
Not too far. Yeah, I lived in Marina Del Rey for a very long time. That's why I knew what Playa Del Rey was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look across the marina at me, and I look across the marina at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just moved like 6 months ago, but just like 10 minutes north.
We should get cannons and fire them from our rooftop.
Potato cannons?
See if we can hit each other's
Yeah,
houses over the
bro.
marina.
And just, everyone on fucking below in Playa Del Rey would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Can I borrow that for a
Yeah,
second?"
dude, is it chill if I just knocking on your door at 4 a.m.? Dude, do you have a potato cannon?
Yeah, I need to borrow that.
Yo, just don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Just let me see the potato cannon.
Gotta boof another bag, dude.
Bro, potato cannons rule.
Now people are gonna start flocking to Playa and be like, "Who thought everybody here had Coke?"
Yeah, dude, and potato cannons.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Man, when's the last time you fired a potato cannon?
Bro, not since like a kid. We got to do a lot of shit as kids, man.
Yeah.
Like that was like our thing. Like it was like throwing stuff at cars, lighting bags of dog shit on fire on people's doorsteps.
Yes.
Like anything we could do to kind of like, fuck someone's day up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which back then we didn't really, that's not how now as an adult, that's what I like realize it was. I'm like, you're just ruining someone's day for a couple hours.
Yeah, we used to try and throw the Frisbee across the street and get like right in front of the windshield but not hit the car.
Perfect.
But
just skim it off the windshield.
Yeah. And then sometimes it'd hit a car and someone would stop and like, "Oh, you kids." It's like,
bro.
it only cost that guy 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I mean, we had a crazy operation when I was in high school. We were all like 16, 17. All of my friends worked at the same frozen yogurt spot. And because the person who was the manager was like the worst. Like she didn't do shit. Like she was always in the back like talking on the phone and like just yelling at us to do stuff. So she was lazy. So, anyone who's normal who is like, thinking about things logically would be like, I'm not hiring 10 friends to work here. That's the dumbest idea ever. 10 high school boys who are all friends. Are you fucking crazy? Dude, this place went out of business after a year.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, because of us.
Yeah.
And like, it was like one after the next after the next after the next got hired. So it was like at any given night, if you were like, we'd miss a party because we were working, but like we were having a party at the frozen yogurt place. We were invite some of our friends in. It was always like 3 of us working at one given time. But we were backed up to like a really busy street. And there were like cars that would just whiz by, dude. And we would just go... We would just go out there on our shift, bro. And I'm working at a frozen yogurt place.
While you're working.
Oh yeah, dude. And we would go out there because it's like a frozen yogurt place. So it's like I have like unlimited fruit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like kiwis were like the thing, bro. Because like a kiwi is like the perfect size to throw. Yeah. And they're like starting to go bad. So they're really mushy.
And they'll stick sometimes.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. So we'd sit at this top of this hill, dude, and we'd look through like 2 bushes and a tree. And we'd just wait for cars to come by and just drill cars, bro. Just boom, we'd hit it. We'd be like, yeah. And then we'd run back inside. And like multiple times, like we'd see like someone go like we could hear him like speeding up. And we're like, oh, dude, I think they're coming. And they'd like, we'd see a guy just like park his car like right in front of the frozen yogurt place with just a splattered kiwi on his windshield. And he'd come in and we'd all just be like playing it cool, just like be pretending to clean stuff.
Yeah, without trying to like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the cleanest table. There's nothing there. I don't even have a rag.
You're like wearing a hole in the table. Yeah.
And he'd come in and he'd be like, I remember one time this guy was like, you guys see anyone throwing things? And we were like, no. Like, dude.
So you're extra nice to him?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yo,
No.
would you like some yogurt though? And they never, we always got away with it. It was fantastic. Yeah, but we spent so much time doing that.
Yeah, we used to shoot people's windows out with BB guns.
Oh, that's brutal.
And we got caught.
Really?
Yeah.
Like shoot the houses?
No, we would be in a car and we'd be driving around and we would be shooting people's like car windows out.
Damn, that's next level.
I don't even know how we got caught. I think somebody confessed because I was with a couple of church buddies.
Yeah.
One of them felt the tickle of the Lord on his heart.
Yep, he went to confession that Sunday and told the priest.
The priest was like...
The priest was like sitting there like thinking like, oh, dude, that was my car, dude.
Yeah, caused like $5,000 worth of damage.
Damn.
One time at the end of the school year, we went into an empty housing development in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And just lit all of our school books on fire.
I love that.
And our old homework and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't burn all the way.
Oh, your
so
names
my buddies,
were left.
Yeah. Cops come knocking on my buddies.
My
and of course,
God.
no loyalty back in the day. They were like, well, he was there
yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even burn my shit.
God damn, bro. Your friends were snitches.
Dude, it was church snitches.
Bro, our group of guys, like we did so many fucked up things that we all kept it really locked up. Like we were in a brotherhood together where it was like, yo, like nobody say anything. Like if we would our literal motto was deny. Like if everyone denies, they're gonna have to have hard proof, and like 99 out of 100 times they're not gonna have that proof. As long as no one snitches, we're good. But like stuff like that used to happen to us where like one time my buddy, his girlfriend broke up with him, and it was in a real brutal way. And we already didn't like this chick that much, so we were like, oh, let's go fuck with her house, you know? And he was with us. And it was like 6 of us, and my buddy Steven, like, and we're all drunk too, you know? We're like 17, 18, we're just fired up. And we went there with like toilet paper, I think like some mustard, you know, we were just like gonna do whatever.
Fully armed.
Yeah, anything we could find. And my buddy Steven, man, I don't know what it was in high school, like everyone was just obsessed with poop, man. Like people would just like shit places and just like I don't know what it was, man, but there was a good year where like people were just pooping everywhere. And Steven got up on her car and just pulled his pants all the way to his ankles, bro, and just started taking a shit on the hood of her car. I see him do this, and bro, like my legs go weak. I'm laughing so hard, bro. I'm like, this is the funniest thing ever to see your friend and he's dying laughing. We're making so much noise, dude. I'm literally watching him shit, and right in that moment, her dad just comes busting out of the front door, it went from no one there to like him in a full sprint running towards us. Like he must have looked through like the pee hole, and he was like, oh, like fuck these kids. And he went like, and he came running out, and it caught us all so off guard. We were like, oh shit. And my buddy Steven like just freaked out, and like it was like early in the mornings, you know, it was like 4 a.m, so there was like a little bit of dew on the and bro, he started like and he had his pants around his ankles still. So he literally went, shoo, his feet went like over his head. He smacked his head on the hood of the car, like rolled onto the ground, was like picking up the pieces. Like he was like, oh, like trying to get up. Bro, I'm like wheezing. I'm laughing so hard. I'm just trying to run without like losing my breath. He pulls up his pants and just runs. And then like, it just so happened that Steven's sister was friends with this girl, and like 30 minutes later, we get a call from his sister, and she was like, Steven, what did you do?
Oh no.
What did you do to so-and-so's house?
Yeah.
And we were like, and Steve was like, I didn't do anything. What do you mean? I've been at fucking Bryant's house all night. I've been there all night. And she's like, you fucking idiot. Kelly's dad has your wallet.
Oh, shit.
So when he, in the heat of like, boom, like hitting his head and hitting the ground, his wallet dumped onto the ground. And dude, can you imagine being that dad and you see that wallet and you're like,
you little mother.
Oh.
Yeah. Did he fall into his own shit though?
I don't think so. Because we checked him when he got home, and he didn't.
Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? No, but you got a little shit on you. Oh my god!
Those times were the best, man.
Having a kid's wallet like that.
Oh, dude.
That's when, as a dad, I would find that kid. I wouldn't go to his parents' house. I'd find him on his way to school one day.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have called the cops.
No. And I would go, listen, I fucking know where you live.
Oh yeah.
You're not getting this ID back.
Yeah.
You're going to come to my house every Saturday.
Yeah, mow the lawn.
Right. Pick up all the shit. Yeah.
Pick up your shit, our dog shit.
All the shit.
All the shit. You're the shit guy now.
The shit guy.
You like shit so much, dude?
Yeah. You know what? I tell you what.
Yeah.
I'm going to shit outside.
As a matter of fact,
from now on.
Yeah, he puts his pants down. He just starts shitting.
Hold your hands out. You want this wallet back?
Steven's like, oh, no. I love that,
then
man.
he's just holding shit and you go, here's your ID.
Yeah.
He slide it right to the shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, thank you, sir. May I have another?
So funny. We're coming up on an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you the question I ask everybody to end.
Yeah.
What is the best meal you've ever had in your whole life?
The best meal I've ever had in my whole life.
Yeah. People take it one of two ways. Usually it's either the best restaurant that I've ever eaten at or the best dining experience or something that's been cooked for them at home.
I'll tell you, I think it's pretty easy for me. I think that, so I worked at restaurants my whole life. Like I've always worked in the service industry up until the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And the last place that I worked at was this Japanese izakaya. And it was this place off of Abbot Kinney in Venice Beach. And it was called Mountain, MTN. And that place, it was run by this like chef who's like fairly famous in that world. He owned a couple of other restaurants that were super popular. One named Jelena, another named Justa, that are like Venice Beach staples. And that is still to this day like the best food I've ever had in my entire life. Like I think about it at least once a month where I'm just like, God, I would kill, because it went out of business during the pandemic.
Okay.
And they just had everything, man. They just had like ramen and they had sashimi and just like all the best vegetable dishes and gyoza, dumplings, and like it was always like I would bring people there, like friends, and they've only been there one time, and they'll randomly bring it up to me, just like, dude, I miss that food so much. It was just the best.
Are we talking like your employee meal, or are we talking you just go there when you weren't even working? And
bro, that's how good it was. Like I would eat when I was working, and then when I wasn't working, I would come in. Like it was a hang. Like we were like a family, dude. Like, and it was just like the people who ran it. Like our GM was a guy who was like very famous from being on Survivor like 3 different times.
Oh, cool.
This dude, Ozzy Lust. And he's like one of the most famous like Survivor players. Okay. And he was like our GM. So he's just like a fun guy. You know what I mean? He's just a silly dude who would like party with us. And the whole atmosphere of the restaurant was like, oh, we're just going to like party. You know, we're going to work really hard. We're going to all be like the best at our jobs. But we're also like on New Year's, we're going to make a jungle juice that has acid in it.
Oh, sick.
You know, and we're going to like rage. Like that was a real thing.
Yeah, we're all going to be on Survivor for a little while.
Yeah. We're all going to be surviving this shift. Yeah, like holy shit.
Wow.
It was so fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like I actually ran into him like 2 nights ago.
Killer.
Yeah. And we were just like catching up about it, and he was just like, he was even saying like, he was just like, bro, he goes, I miss it so much. Like I miss the restaurant industry and the social aspect of it. And I was like, I don't miss the restaurant industry, but I miss that restaurant. And he was like, actually, you're right. Like it was just a very like special place that, you know, cultivated just like good food and like cool people and just good times.
Were you front of house or were you kitchen?
Front of house. Okay. I was a bartender and a server.
Oh, killer.
Yeah. It's just so fun, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like any given night, we would just shut it down, lock the door, and just start ripping drinks. Ripping drinks, good food. We had like 2 vinyl players, and so we would have like both going at the same time in like this really dope, you know, speaker system. So we'd just be playing records and like having like some of the best food, best wine, just like in the world, and just like good people. Cause like he hired people based off of like he'd be like I remember like I bombed the interview because I came and I was like in a like nice shirt and it was like tucked in.
I need a job outfit.
Yes, 100%, like khakis. I look like a dork.
Yeah,
and like
this dude's broke,
dude. I was like, I look like I was going to my high school fucking homecoming. You know, I just look like a doofus. Slick back my hair, and I showed up and he's just like, look, he's in a jean jacket. He's got Ray-Bans on.
He's got his feet up on
bro.
The
He
desk.
literally did. He's just like, oh, you know, legs crossed, and I'm like, I'm bringing like my resume, and he didn't even ask me for it. Like I just put it off to the side. And I remember I was like, I was like coming in with all like the regular questions, like, oh, like what are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? You know? And I remember the first question, he was like, so like, who's your favorite band right now? And dude, I started panicking, dude, because I'm like, what's a cool band? What's a cool band?
Yeah.
I think I was like, you know, Imagine Dragons has some like pretty sick.
Next.
You ever heard of Radioactive?
Oh my God.
Like I remember just picking the worst thing.
Yeah. It's the worst when you get a question that you have to answer back with what you think they want to hear.
Yes.
Oh, and it's always interview questions too.
Terrifying.
Yeah, people always ask me like, what music videos have you worked on? And I'm like, well, what kind of music do you listen to?
Yeah, right.
Because it doesn't, like I could name a country artist you've never heard of.
Totally.
Or I could say Rihanna's Umbrella. What's going to impress you?
Right.
But you can never guess.
Yeah.
I was actually just listening to Anthony Bourdain's book, his first one, Kitchen Confidential.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's talking about an interview that he had for a steakhouse. And he misunderstood the interview question. He thought the owner said, what have you heard about me? Or what do you know about me? And he was like, he was battling it in his head. Should I lie? Should I fluff him up? That question actually was, what do you know about meat?
Oh,
and it's a steakhouse.
My God.
And his answer was, nothing really.
Dude.
Fired on.
That is
not hired on the spot.
So funny.
Yeah.
What do you know about meat? He's like, yeah, he's a steakhouse. Like, nothing.
Nothing.
Take care.
Because he had aced the interview up until then. He was like, I've been an executive chef here, and I've opened this restaurant. And they're like, wow. They're really impressed. And like,
Bro,
so
that is so funny.
Yeah.
Have you ever bombed an interview so bad, like you had to, like you've been thinking about it for years?
No, I mean, it's not in my current intrusive thoughts rotation.
Yeah.
Because I've been freelance for 17 years now.
Oh, that's so nice.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
You know, not having any security and panicking about money at any given moment. Is
true.
And I think that's a lot like the restaurant business.
Yeah. I had one when I was 16 and I was first trying to find a job, and it was like just before I got the frozen yogurt place. I wanted to work at Haagen-Dazs in the mall, and
You're really into the frozen stuff,
bro. I know, man. Frozen treats are big in the young community. Like that's like where you're gonna get hired.
Right.
Anything in frozen treats, but like I don't know why that's always like an entry level job.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I showed up, man, and it was like this. The couple, they had like accents, and I'm like, oh, like Haagen-Dazs, like is this like I'm like I don't even know still where I'm like is this
are they German?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is this Haagen-Dazs in front of me right now? Like,
which one of you is Hog?
That's how I bombed. You're
Excuse
like,
me, Daz?
Yeah,
Daz.
yeah, Daz. May I call you Daz?
Or,
yeah,
Mr.
Miss Daz. Yeah. May I call you that?
Oh, that's funny.
But I remember I was like, I had a friend who had already worked there, and they go something so similar, like to the Bourdain thing. That's when we think of it. They go, yeah, like what do you know about our store? Like what do you know about this place? And I told her, I go, oh, well, my friend works here. She says she really loves it. And I don't know, I've only heard anything but good reviews. And something about that word reviews, dude, it made this woman, she just started cackling, bro. Like laughing uncontrollably. And she was going, like, and she's like, reviews? Reviews. Like that, bro. My head is now like, you know when you're so
like, what did I say?
And I'm feeling just hot.
Right.
Like my head is on fire.
I'm
like
pointing
bro,
and laughing.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating, bro.
Yes.
I'm like, give me an ice cream. Like I'm so hot. My face, bro, I could not collect myself. And I'm not kidding. Throughout the entire interview, the other guy had to ask all the questions because every time she tried to ask a thing, she would start laughing again. Bro, I still, to this day, like I remember shaking their hands and getting up and like walking the other way and just being like, what the fuck just happened? Like I still don't know to this day.
You don't know?
I don't know to this day why she thought it was so funny. I have no idea.
That'll haunt you for the rest of your life.
The rest of my life, bro. And it was like a 15-minute interview, and it was like the review thing was like in the first couple of minutes, and she was trying to collect herself. Like at a certain point, she took herself out of the interview. Like she kind of like looked away and was like, I gotta stop laughing at this kid.
Was the store open?
Yeah.
It was an active working store. It's not like it wasn't open yet and there were no reviews.
Oh no! It's like a staple of the mall. It's like been there forever.
Do we know can you really narrow down the ethnicity? Were they Dutch or German? Like
it was it was one of those.
So there's only like a couple of different languages. We need to look up the translation of reviews means in another language.
Yes, because like what if it's just like cock.
Yeah.
Like something crazy.
I heard there was good cock here.
Nothing but good cock in this place.
Yeah, or buttholes.
Right. It has to be something crazy.
Or silly, like kitty cats or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. I think about that all the time still.
You got to get to the bottom of that.
I know.
I mean, 5 minutes of research might qualm your...
I know.
Well, maybe you should sit in it. Maybe you deserve that. Maybe that 15 minutes should be punished for the rest of your life for that.
Damn.
Well, we did over an hour.
This was fun, man.
This was fun. We should have recorded the first 30 minutes too. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, we were just talking bullshit.
We were getting all the shit talking.
No, it was great. It was a good warm up.
And if they're worried about it being about you, you're probably right. Let's plug all your stuff at the end, then we'll do an intro.
Yeah. I don't have any good tour dates coming up, but yeah, just follow me on all social media stuff. It's just Cole Tells Jokes everywhere, so that would be great. Thank you.
Cole Tells Jokes.
That's it.
But that's also on all platforms.
All platforms.
It's not
dude.
Cole Tells Jokes everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere is not included.
Right.
It'll be at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
just look at that shit.
Yeah.
Cole Garrett, thanks for being here.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. This was a blast.
Yeah, I hope you come back soon.
I would love to.
Awesome.
All right. Take care, brother.
This show's a piece of shit.